Welcome, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, good night. I don't know, wherever you are tuning in from. We are joyous to have you here. It's the third round, the first set of games in week 2 of the CBLOL season. And we are here bringing you the unofficial CBLOL English broadcast. We being myself, 4x4, to my right. I think, as I point to my left, I've really got it under control, as you can see. Dia, the man calling the shots and pulling the strings, as well as RMC, my color caster today, random minion caster for long. Boys, in order, how are we doing today?
I think that was me first. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm really excited. We had a little bit of discussion as to what matches we thought were particularly standout this week. And I think it's fair to say we're going to learn a lot about the state of CB LOL as a whole.
Yeah, agreed. Week one, I don't want to say upsets, but my predictions were kind of off. Let's put it that way. So, come into week two here, I want to see if they can the teams that performed well can continue doing so, or whether week one was a bit of a fluke.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of storylines to tap into here. And RMC, you and I were preparing for this week, and we were kind of seeing. I mean, based on the first week and the sample size that we have to draw on, this could be a week of stomps. Or we said, you know what, like actually, we don't really know because, like you said, a lot of things got thrown out of whack in the first week. A lot of new stuff, some new faces coming from the academy, coming from BRCC, a lot of veterans switching teams, etc. And speaking of new things, you, my friend, I'm going to turn it over to you. You have one of these. I'm going to give you the virtual, like really long, old school game show mic because I feel like that's what you're going to introduce here before we get rolling.
Indeed, because we are in week two now. We've had 1 week, to take a look at things. I thought it'd be fun if we did a little bit of a new segment here. So I'm so glad that Dia's here to join us as well. And what we're gonna do now in this segment is because week one was interesting, I actually decided to make some memes about it. But it wouldn't be fun to just flash the memes across the screen. Of course not. We want interaction with you guys. So what we're gonna do here is I've worked with you to get the memes ready. We are going to show some blank memes or the memes fill in the blanks here. And we'll have you guys, you and Dia, 4x4, because I made the memes. I know what they are. Have a guess at what those blanks are. Fill them in a little bit. And I've got about 5 of these. We're going to do this while we're waiting for the games to start. So without further ado, let's have the first one up there, Dia, if you could please bring that up.
Okie doke. So, what you see on your screens right now, is our first meme. You'll notice that I've blanked out what it actually is, but it's time for guesses as to what it is. We got about a minute and 30 seconds to do so. So, I'm going to open this one up. The thing that stands out to me here is Parang on the top, sorry, FNB on the top and Parang on the bottom. That was what it really felt like to me, especially in the first day. If you'll remember the Kennen dive, that was a big thing, and this felt emotionally like what that was.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I can definitely see that because that four-man dive. Somebody got run over in
Yeah,
that.
that
So,
was.
okay, so Diaz going with the FNB and Parang here, 4x4. What are you thinking?
As much as Parag did just monster everybody, he just ate kids for breakfast last week. I picked a different top lane matchup. It was Guigo's Urgot on the bottom and
Oh
Bankai's
yeah.
Riven on the top. I don't know what mans were
Oh, you
doing
know what?
picking
Yeah.
that, but that to me was the biggest. Like, you know what? Week one, it's still split one. Like, it's just MSI. How bad could it? And then you just get absolutely monstered by Guigo, who had a very good week last week.
Yeah.
That actually feels really right now that
Yeah.
now that I see it, especially like the fact. Oh my god, I was actually really sad about that. We were talking about the Riven before this, even that maybe not the best. Guigo looked so good last week, and it was surprising to
Mhm.
me because of the way that I had expected that team to go. I didn't think that he was going to have such a standout performance, given that it was their first time really being competitive.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that's one of the big standout things was the way Guigo stood out for Red Canids. I think he won MVP as well for that game, and yeah, Bankai. I mean, 06 Riven,
Pour one
definitely
out. Pour one out.
understandable.
Yeah, it maybe didn't look the best. That's a minute and 30 seconds for us though. So, do you mind if I figure
Yeah,
out what
go
was
ahead.
actually hidden behind the curtain there? Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
go ahead and take this away. And we ended up having. Oh, you know what? Huh. Crusair, that makes a lot of sense actually. Now that I see that is also emotionally what that match felt like. Let me go ahead and transition that one over.
I
Boom.
mean,
So the audience can see it.
no secret here, I am a bit of a Pain fan, so is it surprising that I would pick the Pain train to run over there?
Yeah.
We,
Dang.
we don't talk about what happened day one, but day two, Pain Gaming turned it on, and it was a very different Pain Gaming that showed up in day two.
They really did. I'm still in awe over their first game of the season though against Loud, where I swear to God they were gonna lose it, and then I swear to God they were gonna win it. But then like Loud had that very very strange sequence of events that actually has me pretty excited to watch Loud's game versus Vorax today, just to
Yeah,
see how they can harass them.
for sure. And with that said, let's bring up meme number 2.
Okie doke. Meme number 2 will be uploaded into your chat shortly here. And there it is. The audience can already see it. Meme
Yep.
number
So
2
a
caught
bit
me a
of
little
a
bit off guard.
yeah, a bit of a missing poster here. We're looking for someone or something or some team. Guesses, gents.
Okay. There are only 3 things it can be. Like, with 5 players, it's got to be a team. 2 losses, it's got to be INTZ, Vorax, or Kaboom.
True.
I'm leaning towards Kaboom, mainly because I don't think that they showed super great fundamentals, but I don't know whether like it's not their player. Like their players clearly know how, but maybe it's just a little bit disjointed. I don't know. That's my
Okay.
first round.
1 out of 3. We've got Kaboom locked in for Dia. 4x4.
Yeah, I think I love that Detective Dia was on the case. It's like, well, with 5 players, it's okay. Well, actually, that's all the teams. With 2 losses, it's got to be one of these 3 squads. And while I do agree that because my initial guess was going to be INTZ, but based on just the gameplay, as far as like what looked the most disjointed, it felt like that was Kaboom at times. And then I watched the INTZ Red match back, and INTZ started that match off strong, and then Guigo just again, just 8 people for breakfast on the Yone on that tower dive. If y'all remember that, that was really, really tough. But I'm going to go with INTZ here because it feels like they are the team that I would put up the wanted poster most for. Yes, that team had some turnover from the world's representative squad last year, but this is still a really good team with a lot of really good players. They shouldn't be getting tossed around like they are.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And with that, Dia, if you could go ahead and reveal the missing team here.
Okay.
And I will say this, I I think this is more on me a little bit because I felt a little disappointed with Vorax, and so I kind of went with Vorax instead of INTZ or Kaboom. But I think definitely all 3 of the bottom teams can kind of have this applied to them.
Yeah.
I personally feel like I'm going to give Kaboom a little bit of slack because they are playing with subs, and I think for academy players, Mausti and Bankai, it's a bit rough, but hey, they're still academy players. Whereas Vorax and INTZ, definitely, I mean, a bit rougher for them.
We'll get to see if that was sorted out this week. I haven't heard any news about it going in, but I'd really like to see them change that up. But it will still come with a little bit of weeks of dyssynergy, which has me a little bit nervous because even when you do get your full roster together, it's going to take you a little bit of time to gel that the other teams are already using right now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, but we'll have to look into that. And let's go to contestant meme number 3.
All right, meme number 3 coming right up. For those of you who watch Attack on Titan, oh yeah.
And disclaimer here, I don't watch Attack on
Let me
Titan,
see.
so I might have screwed this meme up a little bit here. Lots of blanks. So go ahead. Let's try and fill this one in here.
Okay, so as somebody who has technically watched a little bit of Attack on Titan, and a super big detective, I can only assume the ones on the bottom are our heroes. But not they have to face up against something really scary. There's clearly a team on the top. There's an icon there. I think the icons are on the bottom as well, just because of the square. So name, maybe a short name after that. Let's say I want to narrow this down. For the top, there's a team with 2-star players. What jumps to mind is maybe like Pain Gaming because they have BRTT and Tinones, or was that right? Yeah, Pain Gaming have BRTT and Tinones, and those are star players. Lucy maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though that there are two champions up there as well, and BRTT.
Oh my god,
Did
I'm dumb.
BRTT actually play Misfortune? I actually don't
No, no,
recall.
no,
I know for sure that Lucy didn't play Urgot.
no, 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 he
That
didn't.
would
You're
have had
right.
me super excited if he did.
That,
Urgot
that,
support new meta.
that would have put the fear of God in my heart. I mean, if I face up against that in the bottom lane, MF Urgot, I'm like, okay, clearly they know something I don't. Let's just
Yeah,
FF in 15.
yeah. It's really, really scary. You know,
That
I did not even see the champions. I was just looking at the actual. I was like, oh, you know what? They're Titans. They're like the big sinewy guys. With those two, 4x4. Any guesses?
I mean, the two MF games that were played this week, as I look over here, it's Matsuzake. That didn't go. That was not a Titan worthy performance. But what was a Titan worthy performance was Titan himself. So
Hmm.
that's my drawing on inspiration from Detective D. Yeah, that's my deductive reasoning for the day. Mentally, I think I might have to take the rest of the day off after that one. And the Urgot. I mean, yeah, I mean that's got to be Guigo. It was the only Urgot game, and thanks to Bankai, just walking that lane over to him on a silver platter yesterday, yeah, it looked pretty Titanic. So that's what I've got for the top. Yeah, I mean, I guess the bottom, I'm just going to go with the inverse. I think on the right there, it's going to be, I'm going to go with individuals just to keep things spicy. I think it was Bankai. It was Bankai and Bankai.
okay,
But
okay,
but
okay.
Bankai,
that
Bankai.
I actually really like that one. That feels very true to it.
Yeah,
Do we want to go ahead and see what was up?
yeah. Let's definitely do that. And you know what? I probably should have done Bankai in like two pieces, like maybe the hit on the right or the broken sword on the right for the ribbon, and then Bankai on the left, because that's kind of how it felt there. But yeah, Detective Dia and 4x4 do it here. It is Ridkin, it's Titan and Guigo against Kaboom and
Oh
INTZ, because
yeah, because that was
Ridkin,
their
it's
yeah
yeah,
that was their
they stood.
matchups.
Mm. And I think also thematically, again, for those of you that haven't watched Attack on Titan, this isn't a spoiler. I think this kind of works because Red Canids, we were talking about it off air. They kind of came out of nowhere. I think we feel like they are, in the most respectful way possible, the least 2-0 2-0 team. That they got a couple easy
Mhm.
matchups, and Red, it's like humanity thinks they're safe behind the walls, and then dun, 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 here comes Red Canids. You're like, where did they come from? I thought we wouldn't have to worry about them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was expected to do well, but this well to
Mhm.
start is pretty surprising. And while they didn't have the hardest schedule, they didn't have the easiest one either. So, yeah, I think I'm glad that that kind of worked out.
Yeah, definitely pushing themselves above the middle of the pack status, and we'll see how far they can go. Because I mean, if a roster that is new to CBLOL does very well, I'm excited for them. Just right now against a bunch of other proven quantities, it does seem a little bit like a ticking time bomb.
For sure. And speaking of ticking time bombs, time is ticking. Let's go to
All right, let's do
contestant meme
this.
number 4.
Meme number 4. Boom. We're gonna go ahead and move over here. 4-man die. Oh, let's see. I have to upload this for you guys, but you got yeah. There we go. There's
Okay,
our
yeah.
there's our last one.
I
Boom.
think we know what this is, guys. This one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Let's see. The only 4-man dive I can remember. I've got to imagine that on the top there is just the name of Parang, and then the face of the devil himself. Uh, any further guesses for Y4?
Nope, I'm throwing all my weight behind that one.
All
Yeah.
right,
I'm okay with that.
let's go ahead and
Throw
toss
it and
this one
see.
out.
Yeah.
All right, that is artful and accurate, RMC.
I just love the little Kennen icon I found there. That's not the standard one. I don't know who made that. The chibi Kennen. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so good. I like that.
I had not seen it before. I was like, I don't know where he got this, but I'm gonna leave it be. Want to
Google
go ahead and go to
Senpai.
meme number
Yeah,
5?
let's go straight to number 5, because the match should be starting soon. So
Okie
let's
doke.
go here. Rit button or Rit button? What do you press, and who are we talking about here? Oh, 4x4, you're merging right into this meme here.
Oh yeah, he
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh.
is. Yeah, that's funny.
That's how
um,
meta we're getting with these. I've become part of the meme. Oh no.
I definitely have a guess. 4y4. Do you have something pressing to throw up there?
Oh brother, no, no, quite the opposite of pressing. No, I gotta think about this one. Please save me.
Okay. Hear me out. I've actually solved this meme. RMC, you get nothing by me. Left
Okay.
side is top side prio. Right side is bot side prio. And then they scream for top side. That was like,
Okay.
I don't know if you caught Sunday at all, but that was like
Yeah.
the Talia picks, everything was just not about dragons, and I think that's exactly what this meme is.
Okay, so we've got top side Prio v bot side Prio, with top side Prio being the final decision here. 4x4, your guess here.
I like that, and I'm actually gonna. I know this isn't it, but I'm gonna hijack this a tiny bit and say that this is a preview meme by you, RMC, for our first match. For this is poor Revolta here. He's gonna be deciding between top and bot side Prio, and then he's gonna pick Graves again, and instead just say, no, you know what? No one gets Prio. I'm just gonna farm. I'm just gonna power farm.
Yes.
PvE farm.
Yeah, that would have been so good.
That's
you know
a really good one, actually.
For all we know, this meme might show up again next week, and that could be it. Unfortunately, I didn't preview anything. I wish I kind of did right now, but unfortunately, I didn't. Tia, let's hit our button and show what I was thinking of when I made this meme.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. INTZ. That, you know what? That feels right, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of true. It is a bit of a preview today. Do we get INTZ as we remember them from last split, or are we going to get ints here? Ins or ints? Because last week was definitely ints.
Yeah, that was rough, and we'd expected them to maybe try and shore up a lot of stuff that was exposed at Worlds. And granted, you know, we're moving to a different competition venue. There are a lot of different players here, but they did have two choices, and unfortunately chose wrong in the first week.
They chose poorly.
Yeah, I'm gonna move us over to the standings doc, just so that we can talk about that for a little while before we actually go on.
For sure. And I think, first of all, we can talk about INTZ since it was just there. It's no surprise they're at the bottom of the table right now with Kaboom and Vorax. INTZ, a little disappointing to start. They did, I feel like, have a bit of not even that hard a start for week one either. So that worries me a lot coming into this. And now they're going up against Flamengo as for round one. I don't think INTZ is going to be leaving that bottom of the pile anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be rough for INTZ. They've got Flamengo first. I think that one is the most lopsided match of the weekend. But it's a match with a lot of history. And if there's one thing I know about Brazilian sports, esports, whatever, it's that when a what they call a clásico, right? These two historic organizations come to clash. Both sides will come to play. You throw a record out the window just a little bit. But then their second game is against Renska, and I think that is where they've got to right the ship. Like we talked about, Renska looks spicy. Renska looked like the opposite of what INTZ looked like. INTZ looked a little defeated, a little mentally kind of boomed after the first 10 minutes of each of their respective games last week. But Renska, they're playing with nothing to lose. And why should they? No one expects anything of them. This is a piecemeal 10-man BRCC roster. They've got nothing to lose here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm super surprised they found themselves at 1-1 because much like everybody else, I didn't expect anything of them. But I've actually really been liking the way that Froststrike and Trigo specifically have been performing. They've looked really good. And I'm excited to see how they continue that development today.
For sure. And as we want to watch how they develop, we are actually going to cut right over into the picks and bans because Flamengo and INTZ has started. It's not exactly Renska, but it's still going to be a banger of a game.
All right. I'll toss you guys over. Have a great time, everyone, and I'll see you soon.